You are walking up to a dog, maybe your own best friend or a fluffy stranger at the park, and your hand instinctively drifts toward the top of their head. It is the most human gesture in the world, an act of pure affection, a physical "I like you." But as your palm descends, have you ever noticed the dog blink rapidly, pull their ears back, or let out a tiny, almost imperceptible lick of their lips? To us, a head pat is a compliment. But in the intricate, silent language of the canine world, a hand coming down from above can be one of the most misunderstood and even threatening gestures you can make. We assume that because dogs are our companions, they share our tactile vocabulary. But for many dogs, being stroked on the head is something they merely tolerate rather than enjoy. In fact, if you don't know the specific rules of canine physical contact, you could be accidentally stressing out your dog, causing them to lose trust in you, or even putting yourself at risk of a reactive snap. Today, we are breaking down everything you need to know before you ever reach for a dog's head again. We're diving into the hidden psychology of touch, the consent signals you've been missing, and how to pet a dog in a way that actually makes them feel loved, safe, and understood. To understand why the head is such a sensitive area, we have to look at the world through a dog's eyes. First and foremost, you have to realize that humans are top-down predators. When we want to show affection, we reach over the top. But for a dog, having a large, heavy object move toward their eyes and the sensitive crown of their head is a dominant signal. In the wild, or even in a dog-to-dog interaction, placing a paw or a chin over another dog's neck or head is a way of saying, "I am in charge here." When you reach over their head, you are physically blocking their line of sight. You are casting a shadow over their most vulnerable sensory organs, their eyes and ears. For a nervous or shy dog, this isn't a hug, it's an overhead threat. It's like someone suddenly reaching for your face while you're trying to have a conversation. Even if you know they aren't going to hurt you, your natural instinct is to flinch. The first big realization you need to make is that tolerance is not enjoyment. Most pet dogs are incredibly patient. They love us, they want to please us, and so they stand still while we ruffle the fur on their heads. They put up with it because they know we mean well. But if you watch their body language closely, the microsignals tell a different story. If a dog ducks their head away even slightly, if they whale eye, which is when you see the whites of their eyes, or if their body goes rigid, they are asking you to stop. They aren't being mean. They are simply saying that this specific type of touch is making them uncomfortable. If we ignore these small requests for space, we are teaching the dog that their communication doesn't matter, which is the quickest way to damage the bond of trust between a human and a dog. So, if the head is off limits for a first interaction, where should you go? The golden rule of canine etiquette is to always pet under rather than over. Think about the chest, the chin, or the sides of the neck. When you reach for a dog's chest, you are keeping your hand in their line of sight. They can see exactly what you are doing. There are no surprises. More importantly, the chest is a neutral zone. It doesn't carry the same dominance connotations as the top of the head or the back of the neck. When you scratch a dog's chest, you often see them lean into you. Their eyes soften and their body relaxes. This is the difference between a dog tolerating your touch and a dog requesting your touch. This brings us to the consent test. This is a game changer for every dog owner and lover. You should never assume a dog wants to be petted just because they are standing near you. To perform a consent test, you simply offer your hand, not directly in their face, but just a few inches away. Let the dog sniff you if they want to. Then, give them a few gentle pets on the chest or the shoulder. After 3 or 5 seconds, stop. Pull your hand back and wait. What does the dog do? If they turn away or just stand there, they've had enough. They are done with the interaction. But if they nudge your hand, lean into you, or take a step closer, they are giving you a clear, "Yes, please keep going." This gives the dog a voice in the physical relationship. It turns petting from something you do to a dog into something you do with a dog. We also have to talk about the sensitive areas located on a dog's head. A dog's ears are full of delicate cartilage and thousands of nerve endings. Their whiskers, or vibrissae, are specialized sensory tools that help them navigate their environment. When we ruffle their heads vigorously, we are often overstimulating these areas. For a dog with a history of ear infections, or a senior dog with a bit of sensitivity in their joints, a head pat can actually be physically uncomfortable or even painful. Always be mindful of the pressure you are using. A dog isn't a rug. They are a living being with a nervous system that is much more finely tuned than ours. Another reason the head pat is problematic is visual blocking. When your hand is on top of a dog's head, you are essentially blinding them to the rest of the world. For a dog that is already feeling a bit insecure in a public place, maybe there are loud noises, other dogs, or strange smells. Being blinded by a human hand is a source of high anxiety. They need their eyes to scan the environment and feel safe. If you are petting them on the head, you are taking away their primary defense mechanism. This is why you often see dogs lean away from a head stroke when they are in a busy environment. They aren't rejecting you. They are trying to keep their eyes on the checkpoints of the park or the street. Let's look at the energy of the touch. Humans tend to be very fidgety with their hands. We pat, we rub, we ruffle, and we tap. To a dog, this busy hand energy can be very overstimulating. It's like someone constantly tapping you on the shoulder while you're trying to relax. Most dogs prefer long, slow strokes in the direction of their fur. This mimics the way a mother dog grooms her puppies. It sends a signal to the dog's parasympathetic nervous system to rest and digest. If your goal is to calm your dog down, a vigorous head rub is the worst thing you can do. It spikes their arousal. Instead, slow, steady pressure on the shoulders or the base of the tail is much more effective at inducing a state of peace. There is also a space violation aspect to the head pat. In human culture, we have different zones of intimacy. You wouldn't walk up to a stranger and touch their face. It's an extreme violation of personal space. For a dog, their head is their private zone. It is where their brain, their senses, and their protection, their mouth, are located. Allowing someone to touch their head is a sign of extreme trust. When we walk up to a strange dog and immediately go for the head, we are skipping about 5 steps of social introduction. We are acting like we have an intimacy that hasn't been earned yet. This is why many incidents happen with children. Kids naturally reach for the head and face, and dogs who haven't been socialized to tolerate this violation may feel they have no choice but to use their mouth to create space. We also need to consider the hand path. When you pet your own dog, you likely reach from the front. But have you ever tried reaching from the side? For a dog, a hand appearing from the peripheral vision is much less scary than a hand coming right at their nose. Think of your hand as a plane coming in for a landing. You want a long, smooth approach from the side, landing gently on the shoulder or the flank. Avoid the helicopter approach, where the hand drops straight down from the sky onto the head. By coming from the side, you are being polite in dog language. You are showing them that you are a friend, not a grabber. A big never when it comes to head handling is the top-down grasp. This is when people put their hand over the dog's muzzle or the top of their head and hold it. To us, it's a form of a hug. To a dog, it's restraint. Biological fear of restraint is hardwired into almost every animal. If a dog feels they can't move their head, their heart rate immediately climbs. They feel trapped. Never hold a dog's head still to kiss them or to look them in the eye. While some dogs eventually learn to enjoy eye contact with their owners because it releases oxytocin, for 99% of the canine world, eye contact is a challenge. If you combine eye contact with head restraint, you are creating a very high-pressure situation for the dog. Speaking of the hug, we have to talk about the wraparound. Humans love to wrap their arms around a dog's neck and head. Again, this is a restraint gesture. If you watch viral videos of people hugging dogs, you will see the dogs displaying almost every sign of stress. Licking lips, yawning, showing the whites of their eyes, and looking for an exit. We need to find dog-appropriate ways to show love. Instead of a hug, try a leaning session. Many dogs show affection by leaning their weight against your legs. You can reciprocate by sitting on the floor and letting them lean against you. This is a mutual gesture of trust that doesn't involve the trapped feeling of a hug or a head hold. Another thing to consider before stroking your dog's head is the sound. Our hands make noise. The sound of ruffling fur right next to a dog's incredibly sensitive ears can be like a loud rustling in a forest. If your dog has vertical ears like a German Shepherd or a Corgi, they are like giant satellite dishes. Rubbing their head is basically creating static in their hearing. It's overwhelming. If you want to pet a dog near the head, try the base of the ears, the soft spot right behind the ear flap. Use a gentle circular motion with your fingertips. This is usually a pleasure zone for dogs because they can't reach it themselves. It feels like a professional massage rather than a chaotic ruffling. Let's discuss the context of the touch. Every dog is an individual with a unique history. A rescue dog who has had a heavy-handed past might view a hand over their head as a precursor to something negative. For these dogs, a head stroke can trigger a flashback of fear. Even if you've had your dog for years, they may still carry these subconscious maps of the world. By avoiding the head and sticking to the safe zones like the chin and chest, you are telling the dog, you are safe here. I am not going to loom over you. I am going to respect your boundaries. This builds a level of deep trust that a head patter will never achieve. There is also the height factor. When we pet a dog's head, we are usually standing up, looking down at them. This puts us in a giant position. To a dog, we are already huge and potentially intimidating. When we lean our entire upper body over them to reach their head, we are looming. This looming is a major trigger for many dogs. A better way to interact is to get low. Crouch down, turn your body slightly to the side, which is less threatening than a front-facing posture, and let the dog come to you. When you are on their level, your hand reaching for their chest is a meeting of equals, not a judgment from above. We also have to think about hand decoration. Do you wear a large watch, heavy rings, or strong-smelling perfume? All of these things are amplified when your hand is near a dog's head. The click of a watch against their skull or the scent of a floral hand cream right next to their nose can turn a pat into an assault on their senses. If you have been handling food, your hand near their head might be confusing. They might be trying to find the treat while you're just trying to give a pet. Awareness of the hand as a complex sensory object is key to being a dog-literate person. What about the scratch? There is a big difference between a pat and a scratch. A pat is a rhythmic tapping. Most dogs find this confusing or annoying. It doesn't do anything for them. A scratch, however, is functional. It's helping them with an itch. The best place to scratch a dog is the shoulder blades or the base of the tail. These are the spots they can't reach themselves. When you find the spot, you'll know. The dog's leg might start to twitch, or they might do a happy dance. This is the highest form of tactile communication. You are providing a service. You are being a good pack member. A head pat is all about us showing affection, but a good shoulder scratch is all about the dog feeling good. If you have a puppy, you might think, I need to pet their head so they get used to it. This is called desensitization, and it's important. You want your dog to be okay with a vet checking their ears or a groomer handling their face, but there's a right way to do it. You should never just do it until they stop struggling. That's flooding, and it creates learned helplessness, not trust. Instead, use counter-conditioning. Touch the head for 1 second, then give a high-value treat. Touch the ear, then give a treat. Eventually, the dog thinks, when people touch my head, great things happen. This turns a scary gesture into a rewarding one. But even with this training, the dog might still prefer a chest scratch for pure relaxation. Let's talk about the senior dog. As dogs age, they often develop vision impairment or hearing loss. For these dogs, a hand suddenly appearing over their head is a massive shock. They didn't hear you come up, and they didn't see the hand until it was right on top of them. This can lead to a startle response, which can result in an accidental snap. If you have a senior dog, always announce yourself before you touch them. Tap the floor, or let them see your hand coming from a long way off at eye level. For an old dog, the head is a no-fly zone unless they are fully aware and inviting the contact. Breed specifics play a role too. Some breeds are more head-sensitive than others. Sighthounds like greyhounds or whippets have very thin skin and a very high startle reflex. They generally prefer gentle strokes on the side of the body. Brachycephalic, or flat-faced breeds like pugs and bulldogs often have eye issues and may find anything near their face very stressful because they can't track the movement well. Working breeds like Kelpies or Border Collies are often very tactilely focused. They want a job, and sometimes a heavy pat can be taken as a correction rather than a compliment. Knowing the typical personality of your dog's breed can give you a head start in understanding their physical preferences. The muzzle or the nose is another area people love to stroke, but it is one of the most defensive areas for a dog. A dog's nose is their most important connection to the world. It's also where their weaponry is. Putting your hand on a dog's muzzle is like putting your hand on a person's mouth. It is incredibly silencing and controlling. Most dogs will lip lick or flick their tongue when someone touches their muzzle. This is a classic appeasement signal. They are saying, please be gentle, I am not a threat. If you see this, move your hand immediately to the chest. We never want our dogs to feel they have to appease us just to stay safe. We often pet dogs because we need comfort. We've had a bad day, we're stressed, and we want to feel that soft fur. This is self-serving petting. There's nothing wrong with it, but we should be aware of it. If you're petting your dog's head because you need to feel close to them, but your dog is stiffening up and looking away, you're not actually connecting. You're just using the dog as a stress ball. A true connection happens when both parties are enjoying the moment. If you need comfort, try sitting on the floor and letting the dog choose how to interact with you. Often they will come and put their head in your lap or lie across your feet. This is natural connection, and it is much more powerful than a forced head stroke. There is also the social context of petting someone else's dog. If you are a visitor in someone's home, you are an intruder in the dog's territory. Reaching for that dog's head is a huge social blunder. The correct way to greet a dog is what we call the 3-second rule. Approach the owner first, not the dog. If the owner says it's okay, let the dog sniff your hand, held low and in a fist, which is safer and less grabby. If the dog stays, give a quick scritch on the chin, then stop. Let the dog decide if they want more. By giving the dog the power to end the interaction, you become the most polite human that dog has ever met. You will find that dogs who hate being petted will often follow the polite person around, hoping for more of that respectful contact. The grooming perspective is also vital. Do you brush your dog? Brushing is a form of extended touching. If a dog hates the brush, it's often because they hate the feeling of the bristles on the sensitive skin of their head and ears. When you are grooming, always start with the easy areas like the back and sides. Save the sensitive areas for the very end and always pair it with something positive. If a dog learns that they can trust your hands to be gentle and respectful during everyday petting, they will be much more cooperative during the necessary touching of grooming and vet visits. One final head handling secret: the jaw massage. If you want to touch a dog's head in a way they will likely love, try the masseter muscles, the large muscles on the side of the jaw. Many dogs carry a lot of tension there, especially if they are enthusiastic chewers. Using your thumb and forefinger to gently massage these muscles from the side, never over the top, can be incredibly relaxing for them. It's a hidden pleasure spot that most people miss because they're too busy ruffling the top of the skull. This is advanced dog handling, and it's a great way to show your dog that you really know them. Your goal as a dog owner or a dog lover should be to become a choice-based partner for the dogs in your life. By moving your hand away from the head and toward the chest, by asking for consent, and by watching for the tiny whispers of body language, you are elevating your relationship with the canine world. You're moving away from the master and pet dynamic and toward a mutual respect dynamic. The results are amazing. You'll find that your dog is more relaxed, more responsive, and more willing to be near you. The head pat isn't bad, but it is advanced. It's something that should be reserved for the highest levels of intimacy and trust. It should be done with a soft hand, a side approach, and a constant eye for the dog's comfort. If you aren't sure, under is always better than over. Rub the chest, scratch the shoulder, and let the dog's wagging tail tell you that you've finally learned the secret language of touch. So the next time you see a dog, and that human instinct to reach for the head kicks in, pause. Remember the shadow of the hand, the sensitivity of the ears, and the importance of visual tracking. Change your path. Go for the chin, go for the chest, and wait for that yes nudge. You'll find that the connection you were looking for is much easier to find when you're speaking the same language. Your dog will thank you with a relaxed body, a soft gaze, and a lifetime of trust. Developing this mindful petting habit doesn't just help your dog, it helps you. It teaches you to be more observant, more patient, and more empathetic. It reminds you that every living creature has their own boundaries and their own voice, even if they don't use words. By respecting the sovereignty of your dog's personal space, you are becoming a better human and a better friend. The world of dogs is a world of subtle energy and silent signals. When we slow down, lower our hands, and listen with our eyes, we open up a whole new level of companionship. The head pat is just the surface. The chest scratch is where the true friendship lives. Take the time to learn your dog's tactile map. Find their magic spots and avoid their red zones. It is the best gift you can ever give to your best friend. As we wrap up, I want you to go to your dog right now, but don't pet them yet. Just sit near them, offer your hand low, wait for them to come to you. See where they put their body against your hand. Let them vocalize their needs through their movement. It might be different than what you expect, and when you finally find that perfect shoulder scritch that makes them lean in and close their eyes in bliss, you'll know that you finally mastered the art of doing it right. Thanks for caring enough about your dog to learn their language. Every little adjustment we make for their comfort makes their world 100 times better. Stay curious, stay observant, and enjoy every beautiful, respectful moment with your four-legged family. The bond of trust is the most precious thing in the world, and it's built one respectful touch at a time. Keep learning, keep loving, and keep being the best partner your dog could ask for. Your journey into the heart of your dog's mind is just beginning, and the rewards are infinite.